Happy New Year's, guys, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Happy New Year's. I can tell you, I hope that this year is good for everybody, but you know, we know what it's going to be. Uh, it's going to be the year of the great crash, so to speak. Uh, but today ain't about an economic video. I'm kind of not trying to make economic dark videos, kind of at Christmas and Thanksgiving and Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's. I mean, this is not the time for darkness. I mean, this is a good day. We need to try to make these good days instead of trying to make them put a big rain cloud on everybody. I'm not trying to do that at the holidays. Now, next weekend, oh, you've had it. Believe me, next weekend it's on. But this weekend, I ain't doing that to you. Uh, but just because, I mean, like I said, it's the holidays. So I thought what I would do is I'd make a micro bug out bag video. And that's what you call the get home bag. This is not a bug out bag. This is called a get home bag. A bug out bag would be something that will sustain you for a long time, and what they call a micro bag or a simple bag. This is called a get home bag. Would be something for you to get home with if you're in a situation to where you. Let's say tomorrow, let's say for instance, Russia or, Russia or China, either one, where they do an EMP attack on the United States and all of a sudden power's out, cars dying, some of those cars won't crank back up, some will just keep on powering right on through everything. More specifically, older cars that don't have a PCM, which means powertrain control module. That means a computer, in other words. So basically, cars don't have PCMs, so that'd be older. They'll keep on trucking along, but if everything else is out there, then you know what. And let's say that EMP attack happened, and all the cars did die for just a little bit. Can you imagine what happened if that was the case, and there were people who were going 70 miles an hour on the interstate, 55 miles an hour, or 45 miles an hour on the small off roads or something like that, and they're going to 75 miles an hour, out in Nevada or something like that, and then all of a sudden, here we go. Could you imagine what would happen if that happened in a six lanes of traffic down in Atlanta or Jacksonville, Florida? Can you imagine what would happen? So that's kind of the point of the get home bag. The get home bag is to get you home. That's it. That's the entire point of the get home bag. You get home. It gets you home. It helps you get home. So basically, if you have to start walking, you got something to get you home. That's the reason why I call it a get home bag. Now, the get home bag specifically is pretty much supposed to be generally, this one I think weighs about, I'm going to kind of guess at about 12 and a half pounds. But generally speaking, they should be 10 pounds or less. But I like keeping a few more extra things on here. I don't have to have all this stuff in here. I mean, I could do just fine. But let's just say the event that happened where this were to happen at nighttime, I had to stop, get a little bit of sleep or something. These things are just there for in case something does happen, to where just in case something does happen. So let's get into what's inside this bag. You're probably kind of saying what's inside this bag, and I've made this bag video quite a few times in the past, but I also update these bags. So, I keep them updated. I mess with them all the time. I've even had a fanny pack one time as a get home bag, and it was just a small little thing, but it worked, and I've never needed to use them for anything. So let's get into what's in here. And I think I'll start out with the small pockets, and then I'll work my way into the big one, and it's going to surprise you what's in this big one. You're going to not really know how I did all that. So let's start off. Got a pair of glasses, spare pair of glasses. If you wear glasses, you always need to have a spare pair. So I got a spare pair of glasses. I've got, and this one I don't really have that much. I got some oatmeal, and I've got some forks and spoons. I got some forks and spoons, this plastic forks and spoons in here, and some oatmeal packets. These oatmeal packets, they just you can actually just heat up some water. You can empty these out, fill them back up with water, then it'll cook them up. It'll cook them up, so to speak. I got some medical supplies. Got some patches, and I got some patches and some Band-Aids, and I've got some triple antibiotic cream, so that's in there too. Let's see, what else? This is actually quite a something I kind of come across a little bit later on. Let's see, I got some sinkers, some fishing line, just a small little thing of fishing line. It don't cost much for this fishing line. Some sinkers, and I got some bendable crappie hooks. That's what they call these. These are size 4, quantity of 50, and I keep this right here for fishing. And all you gotta do to let's see, is that all? And I got a toothbrush, so in case I want to brush my teeth. And I'll show you something in here for toothpaste in a minute. Well, all you have to do with to make a rod basically is just take a stick, just wrap it around the end of a stick. Wrap the line around the end of a stick, tie it on, and then run it around the edge of the end of the stick. Run it down the rod. You know, you want to run it down the rod to your hand, so you can kind of feel them. You can kind of feel them jerking, and then you want to tie it off down here at the end, and have that other end of the line down there, and then you can make you a fishing rod. Simple fishing rod. We call it cane pole fishing. I don't know if you know anything about cane pole fishing. You can look it up. Just look it up on YouTube. There's actually pretty interesting videos of just people stick fishing. We used to do it when I was a kid. My daddy taught me the art of stick fishing when I was a kid. He said I'm gonna teach you how to stick fish in case you ever need to survive. Okay, so now this one's a little tougher to get this stuff out of. I got some matches. This is a 300. These are green tip matches, 300 green tip matches. And I've got some coffee filters, and I got some charcoal. Now I can use this charcoal, and I put it in these coffee filters, and I can actually strain and clean some water, because this charcoal will actually, you know, clean and purify the water. Plus, you can also take this right here, powder it up, kind of powder and crunch it up, and you can actually use this to brush your teeth with too. And it also, if you ever eat something where you get poisoned, you can actually take and crunch powder this up and you drink it, and it will stop you from it'll block the poison in your system. It'll help you regurgitate it back up, and it'll help clean out your system so that the poison won't be near as bad in your system. So charcoal has many different things. You can buy this at your local fish filter thing. This is a pure type charcoal. It has no lighter fluids. It's basically the same kind of charcoal that you would use on your camp stove, but this has no kind of lighter fluids. It has no kind of added chemicals. It has nothing in it that's going to hurt you. You can use it for brushing your teeth. Like I said, you can powder it up. You can swallow it. You can eat it. So there are many things you do with it. You can also use it for purifying water, or just let's say I catch some creek water, and I got some coffee filters. So let's say I catch some creek water, and I just want to pour it down through there to use to strain off some debris that might be in the water, so to speak. So that's there. Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna start with the small pockets first, and in the side of here, I've got something right inside here, this little side carry bag. Now you can buy these kind of bags like $10 at Walmart. In here, I've got these. These are probably thinking, what in the world have you got there? Well, these are my ammunition for my slingshot, basically. Just plain old things. Best way to buy these is just go to Tractor Supply Company and basically buy them by the pound. So you're talking about like a half pound, and I think somewhere around about $5 or $6 a pound. You know, I mean they sell them by the pound, so they don't go down to your local Lowe's Hardware and stuff like that and buy them. Just go down to Tractor Supply Company or someplace that would just sell them by the pound, and you'll come out a whole lot better off. And then on top of that, once you get the one that generally I found that I like this size, I believe if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember what size that is. If I'm not mistaken, that's 9/16 or 3/4 of an inch. No, I think it's maybe 5/8. I believe that's 5/8 if I'm not mistaken. That's the size I like to use. But anyway, you have to figure out which size works best for your slingshot. Every slingshot's individually different because of the bands. Some bands are a lot more powerful than other bands. It just all depends. And I got a little piece of something sticking up here, so I'm going to slip that back down in real quick. Come on now, guy. Don't let me down. Okay, inside here, I actually opened this thing up, but this is a plain old J&O shower curtain. That's all this is, in case you're wondering. It's nothing more than a plain old J&O shower curtain. I can't remember why I opened this thing up for, but I opened it up for some reason. Anyway, it's just a plain old J&O shower curtain. Now, if you don't know how to basically, if you don't know how to basically make a lay down cover up shelter, basically you can take just two sticks with a Y on the end, run one stick across the top of it, and then you can hook this shower curtain onto that, and basically to give you some rain from the shelter. You can also lay it down flat, cover it up with leaves, climb right underneath it, and no animal, no person, or nobody know that you're underneath them leaves, because you'll be laying right down underneath them leaves. If you know what I mean. So, and then on top of that, in case you want to, you can just use it for covering up yourself. You can just use it for just getting underneath something when a rainstorm hits. You can just get underneath something and kind of cover yourself. Kind of use it just kind of cover yourself up, basically. So there are a lot of things you can do with a shower curtain. A lot of people just underestimate them. You can go down to your local Dollar Tree. It doesn't have to be no place fancy. Or you can just go to Walmart. It's a little better grade than what's buy down at Dollar Tree. And for $3 down at Walmart, you can buy just a cheap, plain old J&O shower curtain for about $3. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy. This is all you're doing with it. I don't care if that thing has, My Little Pony stuff on it. I don't care. You're just using it for survival gear, not for being a classy showman. But if you want to get something that's camouflaged, you go right on ahead and do it. Okay. And as I mentioned before, this is another slingshot. It's not the same one I showed you yesterday. This is much newer. This is called the F16. I think they call these F16s. But that's what kind of call these, and I just like I said, I don't care as much about the wrist rocket. I just like the plain old J&O kind. You just boom, and I am not shooting nothing inside my house. It would break it. But I got a slingshot. That's just for survival gear, and like I told you before, I keep these. I can find rocks, but with rocks they can be a bit inconsistent weight. And with these, you get a little more accuracy because you have a steady weight and the size and diameter, and you get used to shooting something. So they're actually very good for that purpose. You also want to check, if you keep these things in your car, you want to check your bands. I already had some trouble with mine where my bands because I kept it in my car, my bands had went to the bad. So that's something you might want to think about. Your bands. So that's what I keep in mind. Make sure, like I said, you keep good bands on there. And the bands aren't expensive. I mean, I got a bunch of bands around here, but I need to probably get some more. But the truth of the matter is, keep you some good bands. And if you would, just take some oil and kind of oil them up a little bit. Let's see, what else I got? Oh yeah, Sawyer water filter. I've not pulled it out and used it yet, but this is a water filter. You walk up to a creek and just drink water straight from the creek, basically with it. You can, it's got a bag. It's got a bag inside of it. I want to see if I can open it up without messing everything all up. So I really don't want to do that. Nah, I can't. But anyway, it's got a bag inside of here, and it is what it is. But anyway, it's got a bag, and then it's got a straw, and you sit down and you can drink water straight from a pond, whatever. With that, you know, some old stagnated water, something like that. Water from you know, water from a pretty decent source. I wouldn't go drink something on the side of a street somewhere, but water from a pretty decent source. Rain poncho. I don't know how many of you people know anything about rain ponchos, but good thing about rain ponchos is if it's not too hot outside, rain ponchos can be very, very good for keeping you dry. You might be someplace where you just don't want to stay there. You just want to kind of maybe get out of the rain, or maybe you just want to going through in the rain, and you just want something like this. These are pretty cheap. They're not expensive. I think $4 or $5. Let's see what else I got. Let's see what else I got. I was messing with this thing. I took a candle out. Got this guy. This is a Fiskars. Let me turn around so you can see it. This is a Fiskars, and I want to say that this is the. I want to say this is the. I can't remember which model this is. But you got a button right here. You push this button like this, and you can fold it down like that. So this is actually pretty good. You can actually use these for going and taking firewood and stuff like that. So if you want to saw some firewood, it's got a hand saw basically. It's a mini hand saw, and they're pretty good. So you can actually put one of these in there. Now these, I gotta warn you, they are a little bit more expensive. This is like 20-something bucks. So actually, when my old bag I had got stolen, I actually bought this, and I went to go grab my bag, and I was going to slide this down in my bag, and I found out that somebody stole my bag, so I had to build a whole new one, which was not a lot of fun. I was very, very mad. You know, some idiot stole something off of me and made me mad. Let's see. I got a knife in here. I keep a knife. This is just plain, basically a plain knife. Just a plain side knife, a Bowie knife, whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever you want to. Rambo knife, however you want to call it. I don't care. But that's what this is. And I actually was messing with this bag, and I was checking to see what I had in here, what all I had in here. And I took something out. I'm going to have to put it back in here. So I'm going to go get it in a second. Okay. And don't want to lose that either. I got a little hatchet. Now the hatchet, I don't have to have the hatchet and the saw, and the knife. But you never really know what you might need it for. This one does have some, you see these? This one does have, see, it's 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/8. Now I can tell you right now, I told you I thought that these bolts were 5/8, and I can tell you right now, because it's got this little tool right here, I can tell you whether or not these are 5/8, but I think they are. No, something's smaller than 5/8. Something a little smaller than 5/8. So what would that be? Let's see. It's also not 1/2 inch. So what would that be? 7/16, something like that. It'd probably be about like 7/16. But anyway, Anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. I mean, this guy's pretty cool. You can do a lot of stuff in case you have to hatch or something. You never really know. You might. I don't know if you've. I don't know. I don't know how many times you ever went catfishing, but if you know a catfish, you can live a long time outside water, especially if the rain is raining on a catfish, he'll stay alive a long time out of water. And I found that sometimes you have to actually, finish the catfish off. Something like this would be good for finishing off a catfish. Also, in case you maybe were to wound an animal or something like that, and when you're hunting for food, and you had to kind of grab something, maybe finish him off. This would be good. This would be good for that. It could also be good for taking some firewood. You might use it for chopping. Like in case you want to build a spear or something, you could always use it for chopping. Kind of chopping you off some sharp edges. I mean, on top of that, with this other thing I got here, it can be used for driving down tent stakes, stuff like that. And I didn't show you my little cup I also keep. I'm going to show you my little cup I keep right here. So I keep this cup too. And basically, you can get a fire started, and you can use you can have you some water boiling or something like that, and you can get whatever you get, dandelions. You can actually eat clover leaves, the clover, the white Dutch white clover that you got growing in your yard that has the white flowers, the 4 leaves, clovers. Basically, St. Patty's Day special. Well, this could be used for that too. You can use it for many things. You can also use it to heat up, drink some coffee. But I don't, I wouldn't drink coffee, but a coffee like that, because I stopped carrying coffee in my bag. But these can be used for, heating up for whatever reason you want to do. I might start carrying tea bags, as a matter of fact. Hot tea, because tea bags don't generally go bad. I might put me some tea bags in here. At the end of this video, I'm going to stop for a second. I'm also going to show you a couple more things I just think about adding to my bag. So I'm going to go ahead and add them. And I was looking through here just to kind of see what's what, and I took a candle out. So I'm going to show you the candle too. So I'm going to kind of cut in this video, then I'm going to add another little piece to this video at the end. I hope you don't mind. Let's see, what else? So, yeah, I mean, it's just a stainless steel cup, and you can buy these back in the sport goods sections at your local Walmart. So they do work good, they do work good. Let's see. I've also got a cigarette lighter, just a plain old Jane old cigarette lighter. I like the long kinds. These light a very long time. They're very, they light a very long time. Let's see how big that flame is. There we go. Yeah, they light a very long time. You get a lot of lights out of these. These are really good lighters. Only thing I've ever found with putting something like that in a bag like this, and then you turn around and you put it into a hot car. Hot car gets over 100 degrees, and you got a lighter in there. That might not go too good. You might have a trunk on fire, but the bottom line is, I still keep one in here. It does kind of worry me though, getting it, because if you ever seen them, lighters. If you ever seen lighters, even the empty lighters, you put them in, you put them near a flame or a fire, they'll just freaking explode. You just watch them pop, and they'll just explode. Let's see what else. Underwear, spare pair of socks, in case my feet get all wet. A spare pair of underwear. That's just so you won't be running around with really grungy stuff on. Especially out there in the heat, your feet can get very grungy. Your groin can get very grungy. It just gets really, really terrible feeling. And if you get time, you stop and everything, and you maybe have a chance to change that, then change that. Especially if you get to a little shelter area. I got an emergency blanket too. This is in case it's cold weather. I don't know if you know what these are, but these will keep you warm in some very cold temperatures. I mean, really cold temperatures. But, generally speaking, it'd be, 15, 20 degrees outside. And, let's say you get stranded in your car or whatever, for whatever reason, and you got this blanket, you can take this right here, put it over top of you. It's not perfect, and I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, it's going to be minus below, 20 below, but, down to about 20, 15 degrees or so, you can put this on and save your life, especially with these idiots running around with like that night it got down to 2 degrees outside. You remember the night it got down to 2 degrees? I see some moron running around with a pair of gym shorts on. I mean, a little pair of gym shorts on, and a hoodie. I mean, it's like somebody said, no matter how cold it gets outside, there's always this guy. And that's the God's honest truth, because, sir, no matter how cold it gets outside, there's always that guy. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking to myself, man, what would happen to you right now if your car broke down and you had to walk? It was like, I think that day, at that time, I think it was like 11 degrees or 8, 9 degrees, and I went down to Little Sushi, got a hot and ready. I was like, my God, man. I mean, really, it's like 8 or 9, 10, 11 degrees, and here this moron is running around in that. I mean, really. I mean, come on. You got to have something on or you're going to get freaking sick. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I've got a, you know what these things do? How they make a spark? Well, anyway, they make a spark. If I can find a knife. Yeah, they just make a spark. I don't really want to spark it too much because these things don't like this little cheaper kind like this. They don't do it but just so much. But anyway, it's a sparker. Kind of come with the axe, so that's the reason why I got it. But you just take it, you this one will. Huh. Oh, I'll see what's happening. I'm not hitting the actual thing. It's the place where the spark's at. There we go. I'm a lot of practice with this one. See that? Yeah, that's how you do it. Anyway, you start a fire. Actually, it's kind of painted black. And where the actual spark thing is, it's got one little small piece of fairing rod right there. That actually is the actual fairing rod. I didn't even try to mess with this because I keep all the other stuff, but it's there in case of a pinch, in case I need it. So I'm not going to mess with it no more. I don't want to use up all my little bit of fairing rod I do have in my box. Fairing rods, yeah, they can be a handy tool. They can be a handy tool. If you know what I mean. Yeah, they can be a handy tool. If you had to make fire. But like I said, this thing's not all fairing rod. It's got a little piece. It's got a little small strip piece on it that's fairing rod, and the rest is not really. It's some kind of metal, just metal housing. But anyway, it was cheap, and it just come with the hatchet. And I bought the hatchet a long time ago. I bought the hatchet a while back. Where's my? Where'd that thing go? I know I got 4 of these in here. Oh, I'm Chowie, Bobby. I'm Chowie. Hold on a second, guys. There you go. There you go, Leek. It's okay. It's okay, Bobby. She's trying to get up here and make videos. All she's trying to do. Anyway, I got a 4th one here. I think it fell. There it went. So I got 4 of these. Yeah. 4 of these. These are tent stakes. And remember what I told you about the corners, about strapping down the corners? These all have an edge. They have holes right here. They have little holes. You can stick right down these holes. All you have to do, drive that down the ground, And you can imagine, I can just use, like I said before, this can go with my tent stake. I can use it to kind of beat my tent stake down the ground with my little hatchet. So it's a good little tool to have. Give me one more second. I have got to get up, and I have got to go get a candle, and I'm gonna add some tea bags to this thing. I didn't think about tea bags, so just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I'm adding some Lipton tea bags. One of the problems I had with my with coffee, I used to put instant coffee in there, but I found that instant coffee ends up melting down to one great big crystal. So thinking about it, probably would be okay if I had these. Just heat me up some water, and I'd be good. Then I got this kind of candle. Hey, you don't have to go buy a big fancy candle. Just come right down to the Dollar Tree and buy these right down at the Dollar Tree. They last a very, very long time. They're really good candles, and you know, for $1.25 for down at the Dollar Tree, you can get these. I don't know how many I threw in here of tea bags, but let me repack this thing so I can show you. But I have my candle. Like I said, I was looking in here. We kind of have a tendency to forget what we put in here ourselves. So I'm gonna go ahead and repack this thing right in front of you. It's a little tight. Believe me, this is a little bit of a tight squeeze. But basically, flintstone, flint rock. So basically, my candle, my tent stakes and flint rock, my cup, my a pair of underwear and socks, kind of packed down the cup. This is a small bag, so you know I have to understand I don't have much room in here. My thermal emergency blanket in case it gets real cold. Got a little pocket right here. I might go and stuff some of that stuff in that pocket. No, I don't want to do that. My Sawyer water filter. My well, let me pack this first. I gotta pack these things first. My knife, my Bowie knife. I don't know if this Mossy Oak brand is any good or not. I don't know. It seems to hold a pretty good edge from what I can tell. But it'll do me in a pinch, and that's what this whole bag is about, a pinch. You know, just in case you're in a pinch. My hatchet, you know, and my slingshot too. Now, stuffing all this back down in here. My rain poncho. My big knife, you know, my big saw, going right down here in this, down here like that. Okay. Now, tea bags. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put these tea bags. Got a load of room up front up here. I'm gonna put them in here with my medical thing. In here in my medical compartment, and then I got to throw this guy back up neatly. It's better if you just don't take these out of the thing. I cannot remember what I took this out for. My mom was down here one day, and I pulled this thing out for some kind of reason, some kind of crazy reason, but it wasn't used for anything, any other kind of purpose. But stuff it back down in here. You know, my shower curtain. Shower curtains are amazingly good. I mean, you can get a little small tarp if you want to, but shower curtains generally are pretty good. I mean, they will keep you a little bit, keep you pretty dry if you know, they're a little bit bigger. You know, they're taller, they're bigger than you are, and for the money, they do keep you warm. I mean, they will keep you dry when you need them. And generally speaking, there's one last item that generally probably will go with, that'd probably go with me. Now, this is to be out there on the road. That's my High Point C9. My High Point C9. And the reason why that is because I've talked about this in the past, but so basically I've got gun safe in my car. And when I'm going out someplace, or let's say I'd be whatever, I'd keep this guy kind of locked in the gun safe in my car, and with it locked up in the gun safe inside my car, in case something ever happened, well, I'd still have this. And where I keep this at, I could put it, I could kind of, stick it inside my belt, whatever else. I've got a holster for it too. So, whatever, for whatever reason, I'd pretty much take this guy with me. I'd have him and an extra magazine of an extra clip of, uh, an extra clip of bullets too. So, anyway, I just thought I'd make that right, just talk about that. And this brand here is called Outdoor Products. It's the name of this bag. Get this bag for like $10. So, but I will tell you though, that saw is like over 25 bucks. It's like 25 or 27 bucks for that saw. The sorry water filters, they're something like, I don't remember how much the sorry water filters are, but they're a little bit more expensive too. But anyway, I probably like about $17 or $20. But anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. I'm putting up. I did a repair on my chimney, and I'm making that video. And I don't really know if I've already made it, but I don't know if I want to tack it on to the end of this because this is going to be too long, and it'd be a bit off topic. So I probably end up coming up with a very short video tomorrow. It'd be very short, and you'll see what I did in my chimney. If I decide to upload it, if you give me if I get a few good likes on this video, I might go ahead and upload it. I may not upload it. I was planning on uploading it at the end of this video, but I made it too long with all this stuff. So anyway, take it easy, be good, get at it.